Tonight, a mysterious spill from a data center in Cambridge.
There's clearly a lot of substance and chemicals and different elements that are used, mainly around the cooling component of it.
The search for answers and accountability.
I think there's a lot of concern about AI data centers and their impact on community.
About a leak that's set off a multi-level response. An anniversary filled with emotion.
It's entirely just the heartbreak. We all feel for Parker.
21 years later, remembering baby Parker in a story that's now moving through the courts. Encampment complaints.
So far to date, we've had over 330, I believe, complaints of encampments within Guelph.
Why Guelph is considering tightening its rules about where they're allowed. Good evening. A mysterious chemical spill at a Cambridge data center is raising questions about containment and contamination. The substance was seeping into a stormwater retention pond and reported to the province more than a week ago. Tonight, we are learning more about what's been going on ever since. Let's go live now to CTV's Alexandra Hollick, who's been chasing down new details all day on this. Alexandra, no question, a lot of layers to dig through here just to get some information. What exactly do we know about this spill and the impact?
Tony, Ontario's Environment Ministry describes it as an odorous, milky white substance, but did not elaborate further. So we still don't know what it is or whether or not it could be harmful. However, the region says our drinking water is safe, along with wastewater and stormwater infrastructure. Sandbags and a pump stop this stormwater pond from flowing any further. It's part of a major and mysterious chemical cleanup that's been seeping from a data center in Cambridge.
There's clearly a lot of substance and chemicals and different elements that are used, mainly around the cooling component of it.
The Ascent Tor 1 data center hosts cloud and AI companies. It uses recycled water to cool off tens of thousands of servers inside the building.
My guess is that this has something to do with some of the chemicals that are used in the cooling of the data center, most particularly with their HVAC related systems. We won't know for certain until it is confirmed by a third party.
The region of Waterloo says it was made aware of the spill on July 19th. That's when it notified Ontario's Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks. In an email to CTV News, a ministry spokesperson confirmed that an odorous milky white substance had entered the stormwater management pond at 17 Vondreau Drive in Cambridge. The material is no longer entering the pond, and ministry staff are working with the responsible parties to ensure appropriate cleanup measures are taken, adding that the region's drinking water system has not been impacted. They didn't specify how much of the substance might have leaked. One of the companies hosted in the facility says the spill did not impact its operations. CTV News made several attempts to contact Ascent, but did not receive a response.
There needs to be a catch-up from municipalities and governments to take this seriously. Otherwise, we're going to see, unfortunately, more environmental disasters that are going to come out of these data centers.
The spill is also sparking environmental concerns from the deputy leader of Ontario's Green Party.
I was alarmed and concerned. I think there's a lot of concern about AI data centers and their impact on community, whether it's energy that they use, the water that they need, that they require, and what is the community benefits.
With new data centers popping up across the province, more damage is possible down the road. This leak putting pressure on companies to follow rules and governments to enforce them.
To ensure that if there ever is a issue, it's being caught relatively quickly.
While the ministry says the spill has been contained, the cleanup continues and there's no word on when the work will be complete. And once again, they have not confirmed what the substance is or how much of it leaked. And as for the cause, well, that's still under investigation by the province. Tony.
CTV's Alexandra Hollick with the latest on that incident at the data center. Alexandra, thank you for that. And time now for a first look at the weather. Let's head over to Ashley Bacon in studio with all the details. A little bit warmer out there, at least that's how it felt today, and a little less of a threat of rain. It was nice to see some more sun.
Absolutely, Tony. We did get some rain through the overnight hours and early this morning, especially around our region. Not quite as much in Waterloo region, but overall things shaping up to be a relatively nice day out there as as Tony mentioned, it was warm, lots of humidity, but that overcast certainly helped keep it at bay. Now, as we turn to our radar, you can see, if you remember, this time yesterday, all of this system was all around us here. Now, that's pushed east and north, and now we're seeing things start to clear out. And the great news is we're in for some beautiful sunny days over the next few days. Right now, it's 24 degrees out there. There is a little bit of a wind, a northerly wind of 28 kilometers an hour, so that's helping keep things cool. And with the humidity, not too bad at this hour, feeling around 29. And if we take a look at what's happening around southern Ontario, things not too hot, but as I said, Tony, it's shaping up to be a nice hot week ahead, and I'll have those details coming up with your full cast.
Okay, that sounds good. Ash, thank you so much. It was 21 years ago today when the body of a newborn who would be known as Baby Parker was found in a park in Brantford. A small gathering today at a cemetery aiming to keep his story in focus as it now moves through the courts with recently filed charges in the case. As CTV's Karis Mapp found out, this story is still having an impact on people all these years later.
21 years later, some Brantford residents say they remember the story of Baby Parker like it was yesterday.
We were down in the area of Wilkes Dam. The police were in the area. It was quite a busy scene at the time, and they had a tarp there over something. And then we come to learn that it was a baby that was found there, and it's just been heartbreaking.
July 28, 2005, the body of a full-term baby wrapped in a towel was spotted near Dufferin Avenue and Parkside Drive, prompting police to refer to the infant as Baby Parker.
It's entirely just the heartbreak. We all feel for Parker.
An autopsy found trauma to the child's ribs and skull, but how he died and why he was abandoned remain a mystery.
It's very heartbreaking that this mother felt there was no other resources that she could lean on.
To keep the child's memory alive and raise awareness about support available for mothers, the Parker's Project initiative marks the anniversary at this cemetery each year.
I think there's the women like me who sense it could have been me. We were young moms, and if we didn't find the support that we needed, it could have been us.
Today, just a handful of people, but no shortage of meaningful conversation.
I was here to visit a relative at the cemetery and just to see them out with the signs and somebody being remembered, you know, even a baby. It's amazing.
This is also the first anniversary since charges have been laid in the case. Back in February, a 39-year-old woman who Brantford police believed to be the baby's mother was charged with indignity to a body and concealing the body of a child. The case is scheduled to be spoken to in court next week. That part of the story also weighing on those at the cemetery today.
We don't know the circumstances around why this baby was left there or, you know, what went on with the mother. There's all different scenarios, and it's such a big shock to learn all these years later that there was somebody arrested.
We need to show grace to that situation and what those years may have looked like afterwards, right? The impact that it had on her at that time and the years following.
Karis Mapp, CTV News, Brantford.
It reads like a movie script, but it's very real, and it's happening just to the east of us in Peel region. Extortion, organized crime, and the international drug trade flourishing, along with gun violence, which has nearly doubled in a year. CTV's Adrian Gobriel tells us more about how police are dealing with it.
As screams of terror and the echo of gunshots reverberate through communities across the country, public alarm and concern is rising. While a Statistics Canada report released this month shows that both non-violent and violent crime is down across the country on a per capita basis, there are still pockets of violence plaguing Canadian communities. In Peel region west of Toronto, the number of shootings has nearly doubled in the first 6 months of this year when compared to the same period in 2025. The number of home invasions that peaked during the first 6 months of 2024 dropped last year, but have remained persistent so far in 2026.
5:30 in the morning, I hear this big smash. I'm like, okay, I'm getting broken into.
Sam McDaddy calls Peel Region home. His company is the official real estate brokerage of the Toronto Raptors. He's using his voice as a community leader to share his story.
And there's 7 people with guns, so I was like, yeah, this is pretty serious.
In July of 2023, McDaddy was asleep in his home in Mississauga, Ontario, when in the blink of an eye, he became a home invasion victim.
Very frightening.
The criminals grabbed his car keys and smashed through his gate as they fled. A year and a half later, McDaddy found himself the victim of another violent crime.
I get in the car, all of a sudden the door opens, two young guys, get out, give us the keys. So carjacking.
CTV News sat down one-on-one with Peel Region's Deputy Chief of Police.
Our shooting numbers are up this year. The reason for that increase is absolutely connected to extortions and also organized crime and the international drug trade.
While admitting the challenges with guns and gangs, the deputy chief also believes that social media is exacerbating the public's fear.
The way that we consume information about our community has changed. So very quickly, one incident becomes everybody's reality.
Though the lived experience of McDaddy that resulted in him purchasing 2 police-trained guard dogs has left him feeling unsafe.
And now this is twice now in 2 years. I mean, what's this country become? Like, this isn't the Canada we signed up for.
How our people feel in our community and the fact that they need to feel safe is as important as them statistically being safe. We are absolutely in this fight with our community together.
Police here reiterate their belief that the new abilities that will be at their disposal to track digital evidence through Bill C-22 and their ability to keep people behind bars for longer through Bill C-14 will keep communities here in Peel Region and across the country safer. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
Halton police have uncovered a coordinated human trafficking network. The investigation, dubbed Project Troubadour, resulted in 9 arrests and 85 charges. Halton police say it's the largest human trafficking case in their service's history. Police say in September last year, a female victim came forward and the investigation began. Earlier this month, 10 search warrants were executed at various homes across the GTA, resulting in arrests and the seizure of vehicles and jewelry.
We believe that some of the accused in this case utilized coercion, deception, manipulation, and psychological harm to maintain control, direction, or influence over the victims. Let me just say that behind every exploitation investigation or human trafficking investigation, there's a person that has had their trust, freedom, and dignity taken away from them. And survivors are not responsible for or defined by the circumstances that they've had to endure.
Human trafficking is not a crime that exists in isolation. It affects the safety, security, and well-being of our entire community. This investigation demonstrates that human trafficking knows no borders and no boundaries. And while the scope of these crimes reaches far beyond our region's borders, some of these offenders were operating and living right here in Halton.
12 victims have been identified, but police believe there may be more. Anyone with information is urged to call Halton Police, Crime Stoppers, or the Canadian Human Trafficking Hotline. It's been a growing debate in our region and right across the country what to do about homeless encampments. In Guelph, the mayor says it's time to put further limits on where they can be located. CTV's Jeff Pickle joining us now with more on this. And Jeff, the mayor says this stems from hundreds of complaints that came in from the public.
Well, Tony, according to Mayor Guthrie, more than 300 complaints since the initial bylaw was passed back in 2024. He says the current rules don't say anything about how close a tent can be to residential property, and that's causing some friction in the community. It was back in the fall of 2024 when the city of Guelph passed a land use bylaw prohibiting encampments in specific places.
And it's actually worked out quite well. And it really set the standards for you can't, be on a playground. You can't be in a splash pad.
After expanding the prohibition once already to include locations like parks attached to schools and daycares, Guthrie says it's time to refine the bylaw again.
There were some pretty urgent phone calls and communication that I was receiving from people from across the city where encampments were starting to set up very close or actually right adjacent to residential homes.
According to Guthrie, there needs to be some buffer between residential properties and encampments.
Yeah, so far to date, we've had over 330, I believe, complaints of encampments within Guelph.
Guthrie says while he believes a change needs to be made, they need a close look at the situation to make sure they are doing it right.
If people are able to set up encampments in certain areas across the city, and you start putting more restrictions and more distancing provisions in, does it shrink the ability and spaces where those people can actually go? And so some of that does need further review and consideration.
Oak Grove City Council was open to the idea. They put off a final decision till after the municipal election in October. Now, Guthrie also pushing for a rule to keep encampments away from shelters and supportive housing. He says to keep people away from the bad behavior sometimes present in those encampments. This will all be part of that vote next year. Tony?
Okay, Jeff, thank you. CTV's Jeff Pickle reporting. Well, we have much more ahead tonight here on CTV News at 6, including some health news. Doctors say they're seeing a spike in eating disorders among young people. So we'll have a closer look at that coming up. And also ahead later in the show, it's a story of survival and a test of determination. CTV's Spencer Turcotte is going to meet a team of dragon boat competitors who are preparing to paddle with a very personal story of purpose. We'll have that story coming up a little bit later in the show. Stay with us.
I'm Heather Centerin. Searching for answers from a winemaking company. Customers of Wine Butler in Kitchener says they put orders that they didn't get, while a sign on the business says the business is closed, but they are missing rent payments from the landlord. That story is just ahead.
Well, we're in for a drier, cooler night tonight, and the sun is making a reappearance tomorrow. Those details with your long-range forecast coming up. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A popular winemaking shop in Kitchener appears to have shut down, leaving some customers out of money and thirsting for answers. A sign on the door of Wine Butler on Madison Avenue South says the business owes the landlord rent and that the landlord hasn't been able to reach them to resolve it. CTV's Heather Centerin has details on this story and joins us live now. Heather, you spoke with some customers who say they are quite frustrated.
And there are even more customers posting about it on social media, Tony. A lot of the people seem to have the same gripes. They received an email from Wine Butler in June saying Wine Butler was acquired by a competitor, that their wine is safe, along with an apology for the inconvenience and a claim that leftover orders will be transferred. But now some worry the promise might have gone sour. This is a bottle of Shiraz from Wine Butler on Madison Avenue in Kitchener, where customer Karen Waterfield says she's been bottling her own wine for a decade.
Their deals were very, very good.
The Shiraz and a few others gifted from friends are the only Wine Butler bottles Karen has left.
All you get when you bottle them, you get this little label, and then when you bring them home, you just stick them on.
Karen says she was about to pick up her next batch of close to 30 bottles over a month ago when she got an email from the company saying Wine Butler was acquired by a local competitor and rest assured your wine is safe. The email assures customers they'll be contacted with the next steps. The company even throws in a complimentary batch. Since then, Karen says radio silence. Karen and her husband say they're each out $130 with no wine to show for it.
Their website is no longer, their phones are no longer, they're just disappeared off the face of the earth.
CTV News reached out to Wine Butler but hasn't heard back. A notice on the door dated June 15th says the business owes outstanding rent and that it hasn't responded to repeated attempts by the landlord to make contact.
Times are tough for everybody, and for someone to take advantage of people like this, it's doesn't need to be done.
Waterloo customer Matt Fraser says he's also out about $130 for nearly 30 bottles from Wine Butler, but says it isn't the money or even the wine he's concerned about.
It was more so just the deceit that kind of went along with it. It was very clear that this guy went out of business, and he was trying to sort of delay us and placate us from looking into this any further by saying, hey, everything's fine, we'll be contacted in a few weeks, and then they closed up shop.
Matt says he knows someone who worked at Wine Butler.
And he said, yeah, June 1st we went into work and it was basically, hey, everybody's laid off.
Karen says she made a dispute to her credit card company and has been refunded. Matt says he is looking to do the same. In the meantime, the message on the front door says if the rent default is not remedied, the landlord may take possession of the premises. Again, CTV News did reach out to Wine Butler and have not heard back. We also tried to call them, but the listed number is no longer in service. Tony.
Okay, Heather, thank you. CTV's Heather Centerin with those details for us. Waterloo Regional Police say the theft of a payment terminal from a Kitchener pizza shop recently is the kind of crime that's becoming increasingly common.
There is a treasure trove of information that could be available that could compromise the business security, customer information, and we've also seen a trend across Canada where people have stolen a point-of-sale terminal and replaced it with a fraudulent one. So we never know what the aim of the activity is, if it's really organized crime infiltrating businesses within the community, or if it's something more low-level. But we do encourage that reporting to police.
Chief Mark Kroll also shared an update with us on the investigation into this past weekend's shooting in Waterloo and enforcement plans for the upcoming August long weekend. You can catch this month's edition of Chief Chat with Leanne Evans over on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Doctors say they're seeing a spike in eating disorders among young people. They say the problem becomes more common during the summer. CTV's Sweeta Rassi has those details.
Summer is the season many look forward to, but for some, it's the hardest time of the year. Dialogue, a Montreal-based virtual healthcare provider, is seeing a 57% jump in consultations for eating disorders.
It's a problem that is seen most often in the summer.
Dr. Mark Robbins says changes in routine, a lack of school support, and the pressure of having a beach body explain the rise.
This is cyclical. It is a seasonal variation that we observe.
The numbers are even worse for young people. Consultations are up 73% for people aged 17 to 25. Lise André-Massé at Anorexia and Bulimia Quebec says nearly 300,000 people in the province live with an eating disorder.
We know that the first sign can start at 4 years old.
She says eating disorders can affect anyone. Men, she says, are often more pressured to look muscular, whereas women feel the need to look thin, especially on social media. Last summer, the hashtag Skinny Talk was banned on TikTok because it encouraged eating disorder behaviors.
We reach out to TikTok and say that it's something that should be banned.
Now, if you type Skinny Talk, what comes up are helplines, including one from Anorexia and Bulimia Quebec. But the problem doesn't just go away.
But they reinvent themselves. So the fact that this is there, it's concerning.
Eating disorders are complex and in some cases deadly. And with summer in full swing, experts say reaching out for help is crucial. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
Well, we have a live look outside now from our live photographer, Dave Pettit, who's in Elora this evening. Very, very calm evening on the water in Elora. A few clouds in the sky, though. What is the weather looking like for the rest of the week? And we've got an early look at the long weekend as well. Ashley's back with our forecast in just a few minutes. Also coming up, the frequency flip. 2 local radio stations trade places, new signals, same familiar hosts and programs. But next, a Canadian accused in an international spying investigation is denied bail. Well, it felt kind of like a typical summer day today, temperature-wise. A little bit of heat in the air, not too cool, not too much humidity, and some peaks of sunshine just to keep things interesting.
Absolutely. We were expecting a little bit more rain through the morning hours, and we didn't quite get it, which I don't know if anyone's complaining too much about. I know I'm not. But we did see a lot of activity around the region. We kind of are in a little pocket sometimes, and we get missed.
Yeah, we are. And you still had that sort of overall appearance of it being overcast, though. Like, no matter where you look today, even if you had those sunny breaks, the clouds weren't too far away.
Great segue, because take a look at this shot shot outside of our parking lot here. Dan Lochner bringing it, and check out that sky. You know, we're not expecting any rain, but there is quite a bit of cloud cover, lots of overcast, and the wind is picking up ever so slightly. In saying that, it's still quite lovely out there. You know, I don't mind a bit of wind, and it's certainly a good night to get out and enjoy it. But those clouds look a little ominous, but it doesn't look like we're supposed to get any rain. And as we take a closer look at our futurecast, you can see we're still sitting on that edge of overcast. Now that's going to continue to push through. We're expecting the skies to start to clear up around midnight, so we should start seeing some stars, and then by tomorrow morning, sunny conditions expected through Wednesday, Thursday, and at least Friday. So we are looking at some beautiful summer days ahead, but right now on the West Coast, things warming up ever so slightly in the last hour or so. It is still a little bit cooler there. Prince George, 17, 18 in Victoria. On the other side of the Rockies, so in Alberta, beautiful day. 29 in Calgary, mix of sun and cloud. 25 in Edmonton, and 26 up in Fort McMurray. As we push through the prairie provinces, another beautiful day. Sunny conditions pretty much throughout. Yellowknife, 21. Winnipeg, 31. Iqaluit sitting at 11, and a mix of sun and cloud. And in our nation's capital, it is raining, 22. Raining a little heavier up in Quebec City in 24, but conditions on the East Coast overall not bad. We'll get to St. John's in a moment, but let's check out Fredericton first. 28 with a mix of sun and cloud. Corner Brook 21. Fredericton though, a bit of rain, and Fredericton rather. St. John's 13 and a bit of rain, so a little bit cooler there, but overall not too bad. Here in Southern Ontario, temperatures pretty much around the mid-20 range. 23 right now in Waterloo region, and we're not seeing much in the way of humidity. Only a couple of degrees difference. Overnight, we are expecting it to get down to 16, so very comfortable sleeping conditions, and northwest wind continuing around 30 kilometers an hour. Tomorrow, temperatures on the rise again, back up to 24. UV index also on the rise again. We're expecting a UV index of 8. That is considered high, so do make sure if you are spending time outdoors, you're being sun safe. Taking a look at our almanac, just to point out, we are sitting pretty much where we should be for this time of year. 26 is our normal daytime high, 14 as our overnight low. Nothing spectacular like back in 1930 when we reached 36.1 and set that record. And here is our 7-day forecast starting in Waterloo region. Sunny conditions, as I said, continuing Thursday and Friday. Beautiful days, 27 and 28. Saturday, we may see a little bit of cloud cover to start your long weekend in 26. A slight chance for showers on Sunday, but frankly, that's 5 days away. We'll look at it closer as we get through the week. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, another beautiful week ahead. 26, 28, and 29, all sunny. And then we'll talk about Saturday and Sunday as we get closer to it. In Southern Georgian Bay, you know, we don't want to shoot the messenger too early, Tony.
I like that you're not really putting an over-under on the weekend yet. I think a lot of people are gonna be on your side there so far.
I hope so. Look, we still have a couple more days to get to it, and frankly, you know, the way the summer goes, things change so quickly, you never know. But tomorrow anyway, in Southern Georgian Bay, mainly sunny conditions in 23, and then beautiful for Thursday, Friday, 25 and 28. Okay, let's take a look at today's Weather Watcher picture sent in from Karen, who snapped this shot of a storm shelf moving through Mitchell yesterday afternoon. So once again, although some areas saw lots of rain, we didn't necessarily see any in Kitchener here.
And some places might have been so close to that threat, but just missed it. Karen has always got such a sharp eye for these remarkable weather shots. Thank you, Karen, one of our regular weather watchers. And yeah, as relates to the weekend, I agree with you. Let's just wait. Let's just take it easy and wait and see how Wednesday and Thursday unfold first.
It could be like last night where it looked like we were going to get all this rain today, and then things sort of tapered off overnight.
Oh.
So you never know.
With any luck, we'll see. Okay. Thanks, Ash.
Thanks, Tony.
Talk to you later. A Canadian intern accused of spying for a third country while at NATO military headquarters in Belgium has been denied bail. Officials say the suspect is of Chinese origin. CTV's Judy Trin takes a closer look at what comes next.
A Canadian intern will remain behind bars after being denied bail. The woman is accused of spying at NATO's strategic headquarters in Mons, Belgium, known as SHAPE. The suspect allegedly worked for an unnamed third country and is a member of a criminal organization. NATO interns are usually screened by member countries. In Canada, CSIS and the RCMP would be involved in the vetting.
I don't think it's worrisome.
Dan Stanton, a former CSIS officer, said this could be a counterintelligence operation. and the deliberate disclosure of ethnicity sends a message to the foreign power she's working for.
The way we've uncovered, or we meaning the government or various governments, have uncovered perhaps the modus operandi of an intelligence service and has stopped the further development of what could be a mole or a penetration agent on behalf of another country, let's say China.
SHAPE is the command center for NATO, where the alliance plans its military operations and decides where to move troops and weapons. In a statement, Colonel Martin O'Donnell says there's no indication that NATO or SHAPE operational readiness, command and control, or ongoing tasks have been adversely affected. SHAPE, the supreme headquarters of Allied Powers Europe, hires 35 interns a year. Now that the Canadian woman and alleged spy has been denied bail, she'll have the opportunity to appeal. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Is a new trade deal with the U.S. ever going to be in the cards? Just ahead, some new developments that have some wondering if Prime Minister Carney should change his approach. Despite the cost of many groceries staying steady or even dropping this month, the price of protein is on the rise. New data from the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University found that prices in the meat and fish category increased by 6.5%, adding nearly $6 to the average grocery bill. The biggest jump was in the price of bacon. That went up almost 29%, followed by Atlantic salmon at 26%. However, the price of chicken breast was down nearly 27%. Dominic LeBlanc, the minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade, is in Washington for more trade talks. It comes as the U.S. president tells Fox News he doesn't care about updating the trade pact with Canada and Mexico, and that he'd rather be independent. This latest jab, though, has some Canadian business leaders wondering if the Carney government should reconsider its approach with the Trump administration. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
So the USMCA, are you looking to update that?
I don't care. I mean, I don't really want to.
U.S. President Donald Trump made it clear today he doesn't really want to renegotiate the trilateral trade pact known on this side of the border as CUSMA.
I'd rather be independent. Here's the thing. Mexico and Canada need us. We don't need them. The deal is important for them. It's not important for us.
This declaration prompting new questions about Canada's ability to get a good deal.
We haven't seen the intensity that a government that is focused on its interests should be bringing to our own North American context.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and this country's chief trade negotiator are heading back down to D.C. this week for meetings. And this longtime Canada-U.S. relations expert says Trump's latest comments show that this country should be treating this trade war like a war.
It's not because you wish to exacerbate the trade war with tit-for-tat retaliation. That's not working. And it's not that you want to, do something dramatic that'll hurt your own economy. But the U.S. has to be convinced that you're willing to. That's, I think, where we are.
With just 3 weeks left before Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian exports come into effect, there's little clarity on the minister's game plan.
I think he owes our country some transparency.
And new data indicates the renewed tariff threats are casting a fresh chill on already frozen business investment.
Holding back on business investments today, whether it's investing in machinery and equipment, R&D, or people, means delayed in future growth in wages and productivity later on. And so with all this uncertainty, it's really starting to affect our long-term competitiveness.
LeBlanc's office confirmed to us this afternoon that the minister is now in D.C., but still won't say how long he plans to be there. Asked to respond to Trump's latest salvo and if it hurts their chances of getting a deal, the minister's spokesperson said, quote, "We will not comment on that." Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
All right, time to update our top stories now. Krista Simpson is in studio for the latest with us, and we're going to start with a cleanup of some kind of a substance. This has been underway outside a North Cambridge business.
Tony, Ontario's Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks was notified back on July 19th about an odorous, milky white substance in a stormwater pond near the Ascent Tor1 data center. They say there was no impact to drinking water here. The material is contained and cleanup efforts are being monitored. We're still awaiting word on exactly what was found in the pond. Today marks 21 years since the body of a newborn baby was found in Brantford. This morning, a small group of people gathered at the graveside to remember baby Parker, named because he was found near Parkside Drive. A 39-year-old woman, believed to be his mother, was identified earlier this year and is now facing charges. Her case continues to make its way through the courts.
And Krista, on our website, we've got details about another Brantford police investigation as police look to identify someone they believe was involved in a stabbing on the weekend.
This happened at a downtown rooming house on Sunday afternoon. Police now putting out a photo of 42-year-old Damien Hunter, who they are looking for. He's facing a number of charges, and police say if you spot him, you should call 911. For more information on this story, scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get it on our CTV News app, or visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony.
Okay, Krista Simpson with our top stories tonight. Krista, thank you for this. 2 radio stations in Waterloo Region are now broadcasting on their new FM frequencies after swapping them this morning. At 9 a.m., Bounce Radio officially made the move to 105.3 FM, while Virgin Radio moved over to 99.5. The stations are both owned by Bell Media, which is the parent company of CTV News. The change was made to better match each station with its signal coverage area that best supports its audience. Bounce Radio's new home at 105.3 gives it a larger regional reach. Virgin's 99.5 focuses on its audience concentration in the immediate Kitchener-Waterloo area.
This is very euphoric for me because I've been around this building, well, not this building, but the KW radio scene here with us since 2009. I started on a radio station that had that frequency, 105.3. So all these years later, I'm coming home, as it were.
Well, what it means is that we can engage in more coverage because we're going to be covering more with this giant signal. So we're going to be going like almost down to Toronto, over to the London area, way up in my hometown of the Grey Bruce. We will continue to be there with the radio station promoting whatever we need to do for this community because you know what? We need you as much as you need us.
And as Angie was mentioning, listeners will still hear the same hosts and programming on both stations. Coming up, a dragon boat team where every paddle is personal. CTV's Spencer Turcotte checks in with a group of cancer survivors who are taking on an international challenge in the name of care and compassion.
I'm Colton Weens in Elora, where the longest barbecue event is kicking off for another year, bringing thousands of people down here to Elora. We'll have more details after the break.
Thousands of people are gathering in downtown Elora right now for a massive celebration of Canadian-made food. It's the annual Elora's Longest Barbecue, drawing crowds eager to sample offerings from more than 20 local restaurants. Let's head to Elora right now. CTV's Colton Weens standing by with all the latest details. And Colton, how is this big barbecue turning out so far?
Oh, Tony, it's absolutely packed down here. We've been here for about an hour now, and there's just a constant flow of people and a constant flow of smells. It's a little overwhelming with the amount of people, but the smell of meat and the smell of different Canadian-made food is absolutely incredible, and we've also had the chance to try some, which is also overwhelmingly good. Now, the longest barbecue event is actually just a kickoff for Food Day Canada, which is on Saturday and encourages people across the nation to shop local, cook, and dine Canadian. Restaurants are showing off their best food with their best ingredients sourced across Canada. Anita Stewart launched Food Day Canada in 2003, and she was known for saying Canada is food and the world is richer for it. She was a broadcaster and accomplished author and Canada's first food laureate at the University of Guelph and was known for being a champion for Canadian farmers and chefs. After her passing, the longest barbecue was launched in her honor in 2021, and last year around 12,000 1,000 people came to the event. And organizers say it's important to keep this going to showcase what Canada has to offer.
This is a launch party for Food Day Canada. We're the Saturday of the August long weekend in Ontario, and we encourage everybody to visit the website fooddaycanada.ca or on social media and join the party across Canada.
Now, this is just the event kicking off things for Food Day Canada, but it's already going and there's still a lot more hours to go. Tony.
Sounds good, Colton. Thank you so much. That's Colton Weens joining us live from Elora's longest barbecue tonight. And we'll have more news in a moment. First, here's Ashley to tell us if we're going to have barbecue-friendly weather this evening. Ash?
Oh, Tony, after watching that, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. I'm going to go home and fire mine up in absolutely barbecue weather tonight and tomorrow. Those details coming up after this. Stay with us. Coming up on CTV tonight, E-Talk starts you off at 7 minutes. Back to back to back, Big Bang Theory, The Amazing Race Canada, and Password at 10.
Tonight, a tractor with a twist.
It sparks joy.
How a new tool rolling through fields could revolutionize the work of farmers to fight off stubborn weeds. We'll have that story and more later on CTV National News, and watch on Crave.
Kitchener Radio changes July 28th.
Virgin Radio is moving to 99.5. And Bounce moves to 105.3.
We'll be 99.5 Virgin Radio.
And we'll be Bounce 105.3.
Same stations.
Different frequencies.
It's time to reset your preset.
Okay, we're going to check in with Krista Simpson now, who has an update on some developing news we've been following this evening. Krista.
Well, Tony, this is an update to our top story. The mysterious substance found in a stormwater pond on the property of a Cambridge data center. The owner company tells us the matter is believed to be a bacterial bloom, a natural process, and not indicative of a release of any chemicals, though work to drain the pond is continuing. We'll have more on this tonight at 11:30. Tony.
Okay, Krista, thank you for those developments. Just into our newsroom. And Ashley, as far as the weather goes, bit of an uncertain look to those skies out there all evening.
Definitely okay for a barbecue,
okay.
I think, after we saw that.
what I was getting at.
Yeah, it looks like we shouldn't see rain. And now I say that with, you never know with these things. But overall conditions shaping up to be beautiful, especially by tomorrow morning. Mainly sunny conditions by 10 a.m. and 20 degrees. So the skies are clearing, the sun's coming back out, and fire up those barbecues to get ready for the weekend.
Hey, I believe in the don't blame the messenger energy.
Thank you.
Yes. Just passing these things along. Well, finally for us, a Waterloo-based dragon boat team is preparing for the opportunity of a lifetime. The Dragon Flyers, made up entirely of breast cancer survivors, will be competing alongside thousands of other survivors from around the world next month.
But before they get there, they hope the community can help them cross a financial finish line. CTV's Spencer Turcott explains.
Every stroke tells a story of survival.
2, 3.
The Dragon Flyers Dragon Boat team with the Waterloo Paddling Club is made up entirely of breast cancer survivors.
I was diagnosed 6 years ago.
The cancer had spread to 2 out of 6 lymph nodes that had been taken.
My retirement plan quickly became a plan of survival.
Each woman has her own unique experience, but a common desire to help each other through their recovery journeys.
Excellent. If I hadn't found this group to support me, I don't know where I'd be.
I was just blown away and so inspired by seeing women that were 20 years older than me surviving, so I knew that I could survive as well.
The group of powerful women push each other on days they may not believe in themselves, and now they're putting that determination to the ultimate test.
We committed a couple years ago to take a full boat to France.
They'll head to the French Alps for the International Breast Cancer Paddlers Commission Festival at the end of August to race against more than 4,500 breast cancer survivors from 25 countries. But getting there isn't cheap.
It's around $100,000 to get just the core group of 24 to 25 paddlers plus our coach there.
So they've created an online fundraiser to help cover the cost of this rare opportunity, one that has given them something to work toward during some of their darkest moments.
When you're in the boat, no one's poking you, no one's prodding you, no one's scanning you. You don't have time to think about what you've been through or what you have going on next.
It's just unimaginable that at a point where I didn't even know if I was going to survive, now I'm going to be, and all the women along with me are going to be international athletes.
Athletes who have helped one another on their cancer journey, proving that sometimes the strongest way forward is being in the same boat.
That's it, reach it out.
Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Waterloo.
Wow, powerful story there. Great storytelling from Spencer. And Ash, I know you were a part of putting that story together too. It must have really been inspiring to see the community that this has created among those women.
The word survivor really plays a fact here, but they are warriors, these women, and they're representing Canada. Let's get them to France next month, and all the best to them.
Yeah, let's cheer them on, wishing them nothing but the best. The Dragonflyers, right?
That's right.
Yep, and we'll be watching them, we'll be cheering them on from back here at home, that is for sure. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight on this, let me see, Tuesday, July the 28th. I was talking to someone today about how I can't believe it's the 28th of July already.
August is around the corner.
We've still got that penultimate long weekend coming up, though, the August long weekend. So it ain't half over until it's half over. I will say that. In the meantime, Krista Simpson will be back here with your next local news tonight at 11:30. And of course, that's after the CTV National News at 11. I don't hear any music, but I think it's time to go.
I think so.
We'll wish you good night, and we'll see you right back here once again tomorrow at 6. Take care.